Hi, welcome to BizTrends TV Show. My name is Enyonam. Follow this program on all social media platforms. Send us your questions, your thought and view, and of course we would attend to that for you. This program is proudly brought to you by Vanguard Assurance. We always stand by you. Your vehicle, you're traveling, your property, go to Vanguard Assurance. Of course, we pay our claims promptly. NPRA is reminding all employees and employers that remember to pay the contributions of your employee. And of course, if you are working for yourself, also pay your contribution so that when you're on retirement, you would have a stress-free life. And leave tomato paste. We are in the festive season. It's a new year, 2020. Eat delicious. And of course, your stew and jollof rice can only taste better if you go for leaf tomato paste. Novelty Innovations will be streaming live all the episodes that you watch every Saturday on TV. So if you missed any episode, don't worry. Just relax comfortably and they will be streaming live that for you. If you are doing an event and you want them to come and stream live for you to call Novelty Innovations. JMG is saying to get it right in terms of policy for a particular property or whatever it is, just call on JMG and they will give you that advice on how to go for this particular policy or that particular policy. This season of BizTrends is that forward thinkers. In business, it is always trending. New things are coming up. Business is never static. So if you're an entrepreneur and you're not updating yourself in this world of business, then of course maybe you're not planning of going anywhere. Today's topic is leveraging on business hubs for SME development. Yes, business hubs concept has been around for some time now, but in recent times, the noise about hubs and encouraging SMEs to join this hub has become louder and louder. So we thought it wise to engage an owner of a hub that, of course, is bringing out or channeling out the successful startups for him to tell us why it is necessary for an SME to join a hub or leverage on the core mandate or services of those hubs. His name is Mr. Henry Agyei Asare. He's the CEO for Tent Maker Ghana. Let's go for this quick break. When we come back, I introduce Mr. Asare to you and the conversation start right and then. Until then, I'll be right back.
Oh. Enyonam, my claim is not covered by the insurance policy I arranged.
Parkwesi, I've always advised you to let JMG Insurance brokers, the insurance professional, handle your insurance to avoid gaps. At JMG, we analyze your insurance needs, we arrange cover with the best insurer with a track record of prompt claims payment, and above all, we facilitate and negotiate your claims. Call Dr. GHOne Amenyedo, the CEO, on 0244 333335 or 0504 333335. You can also email him, Gideon, at jmginsurancebrokers.com or visit our website, jmginsurancebrokers.com.
Thank you very much, Enyonam. I'm calling doctor right away.
At JMG Insurance Brokers, negotiating a great insurance deal is our business.
Waitress! Tomato paste when I would eat, I don't want to leave tomato paste in Ghana. Ah!
Aha! This is what I call a journey.
Secret name LEAP. Leap. Someone named a leaf tomato paste the It was superb and palatable taste. Na esu biaso. There were large and small sizes for chop bars, restaurants, and FMF.
For bulk purchase, contact 033-2095-314 or 050-141085.
So welcome back from that quick commercial break. It's still BizTrends TV show. Today we are looking at leveraging on Business Hub for SME development. Harry, thank you so much. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Well, Harry, it's been years. Like, was it 2016? Like 3 years now?
I guess so.
Oh boy, and you've been here. I keep watching you. I've been tracing you on all the platforms.
Do you find me?
I see you.
Really?
Before we get into the main subject, for the benefit of those who are just hearing the word Business Hub, briefly enlighten us about what a Business Hub does or do in the life of a business or an entrepreneur, and what even inspired you to start at the first place.
All right, so a hub in the business science is an organization, we call it Entrepreneurial Support Organization.
Okay.
Yes, so that's help the evolvement of a business. So the starting of the business, the growing of the business. So primarily hubs do three things. Business incubation, which is turning the idea into a business. So the point of ideation, I have a business idea. I want to start, let's say I want to set up a company.
Okay.
And then I have just an idea to set up, let's say, a fruit juice company.
Okay.
What do I need to do? What am I supposed to understand on the market? How do I even know that the market wants that juice?
Right.
So the validation of that idea to make sure that it's economic viable, that process, the workshop that you go through, the mentoring, to make sure that you understand the market and the customer to be able to know even how to brand it. The entire process from the idea stage to setting up the business, to start now making profit, goes through an incubation process.
Okay.
And then again, you have to do what they call acceleration. So acceleration is expanding, is growing the business from the start point to maybe a global brand, right? A lot of the business that we've seen around Facebook, Instagram, all these, they started from a home country.
Okay.
Sometimes just a small office, and then they grow, evolve into an organization.
Okay.
So growing from the small business into maybe a global business is the acceleration method. So these are the three things basically organizations that our core business hubs do. Back in 2008, I had an organization called Prime to Prime, which is still running. So Prime to Prime is into research, events and trainings, and we do advisory, financial advisory and investment advisory. But I was still working in the corporate world. I was still in the bank. And so in 2015, I came and we did a restructuring of Prime to Prime. Our work was toward SMEs, business that already started, and to see how we can help them in their structuring, in their operations. But we noticed, and I'm sure you can just cast your mind out there and see that most of the business across this continent are first generational businesses.
Right.
So what it means is that those who started the business are still alive, right? And that when you notice that most of the business that we see, when the owners leave the scene, the business struggle. So it means that sometimes it's only because the passion of the founder is still active. That is why the business is running. And that when the founder moves, the systems and structures cannot sustain the business.
Right.
So we need to do what we call a backward integration. We need to go back to the basics, how to start the business itself. And so that's how come we started Tentmaker to help in the ideation, to make sure that when you start a business, you can separate yourself at some point from the business. Because a business is a going concern. That's why you register it and give it a name, like giving birth.
Sure.
Right. So that is how come Tensepika started.
Excellent. That's an inspiring story for me as a person, and of course I'm sure someone watching has also taken a cue from it. It's still BizTrends TV show. My name is Enyonam, and today I'm chit-chatting with Mr. Henry Agyei Asare. He's the CEO for Tensepika Ghana, and we're discussing leveraging on business hub for SME development. We're going for a quick break. We'll be right back.
At Databank, we've actually been preaching that it's always important to have an emergency fund. A fund that if anything happens to you and you are unable to earn income can last you for 3 months. Well, today, I think COVID-19 is proving us right. It is extremely important to always have an emergency fund that you can live on for a minimum of 90 days in the event of being incapacitated or temporarily unable to earn any revenue. So I think the greatest lesson that we should take out of this is the importance of having an emergency fund aside other funds that you need for other purposes. Thank you.
Welcome back from that quick break. It's still BizTrends TV show season 6, dubbed Forward Thinkers. Mr. Asare, so I read a survey giving me a number of hubs we have recently functioning in Ghana. My question or concern has to do with what positive impact are you people making really in the lives of SMEs?
Okay, so what hubs do is that one of the key things we do is that if somebody is not going to be an entrepreneur, help the person to fail and fail fast.
Okay.
Right. To discover themselves, to know that, well, I think I'm not ready. I think I need to go and work a while, build an understanding of how to even relate to people before I start. Because people move from school and they start setting up. So I recall one time we ran this workshop, and after that we started following up on our people. And so we called this guy and then we asked, how is business? We said, well, after the workshop, I noticed that this is not for me, so I have held on. I've held on that thought. So, I thought it was phenomenal. It was something that meant that we reviewed to the person to know what qualities you need to have to be an entrepreneur, right? Because it's not just about being born or being made.
Right.
It's about the qualities that you will build to become an entrepreneur.
Okay.
Now, hubs help business to understand first the markets, second the products. Now I always say this, that there are great ideas and there are great business ideas. They're not the same, right? I could have a thought that, well, I think that Ghana needs an aircraft. I want to set up an aircraft here and then sell for people to use aircraft because there's traffic. There's traffic, of course, isn't it? So if you have an aircraft, you can just fly from Adenta to town. Is it feasible? And
you're good to go.
Is it feasible?
Do we have a place for you to land? That's the question.
So it could be a great idea. How is it possible? Not, right. How is it? It could be a fantasy. The fact that somebody has that same business somewhere doesn't mean that you can make it in your market. No. Right? So great ideas are what I call entrepreneur driven. Okay. My passion. I feel the world would need it, but I've not really stayed to know whether people will buy it. Great business ideas are economic viable ideas. Right. It means somebody will be compelled to put his or her hands in his pockets to pay for them. Right. Right. So what the hubs do is to review these things to you. Right. When we didn't have hubs, a lot of people who started businesses started it for themselves, to the point that when they are not there, the business doesn't function. And it is what they say that makes it work. Right. And I think that when you look at all the businesses that are making waves, their customer business, because they are the people who pay you.
But the house has changed its orientation.
Yes.
So in other words, you're trying to tell me that the hubs have impact, or they have positive relevance on these businesses.
Okay. See, don't just take my word for it. If an organization would give their money to a hub to run a workshop, it means they think that you're going to give them something.
Yeah.
Either you're giving them impact or you're giving them some good return.
Have your emergence or your talking here and there influenced government policies in any way?
Of course. In fact, currently the hub is helping the NEIP, the Business Development Ministry, to set up what they call the Entrepreneurship Act. Right. There are a lot of policies that are involved with this. You know, when something is emerging, the government normally don't have policies and plan for them.
Right.
Now, when they start emerging, then they will have to then collect information to set up rules of engagement. Right. And so the hub's concept have now brought the attention to government to feel that, look, there are people in our class. And of course, when talking about an age of industrialization, then it means that you needed people who would help you to facilitate that thing. And that's why we call ourselves the Entrepreneur Support Organization, because then we're helping that setting up of businesses, right? That concept have made government now know that if we need to reach out to entrepreneurs, there is a link that we can use in getting to these entrepreneurs. Because how many entrepreneurs are in this country? You can't reach all of them.
No.
So if in my hub we have, let's say, 500 in our portfolio, or let's say 2,000 in our portfolio, then it means that when you reach out to me,
it's easy for them to communicate with all of these people. Excellent. Right. Now I come to my main question. Why should an SME who has still not bought the concept of me joining a hub? Because off record, we had a conversation about how some people go and pitch or they compete and their ideas, you know, is turned around. Somebody who hasn't bought the concept of joining a hub, watching you right now, why should that SME rethink of joining a hub? But before you answer that, we're going for a quick break. We'll be right back. Welcome to Kwame Showbiz Boutique. We are located at Achimota Neoplan, adjacent the Melcombe. For all kinds of events, weddings, award ceremonies, parties, engagements, just walk to our boutique. We have all kinds of clothes, very quality but affordable. We work from Monday to Saturday from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. You can also call us on the number displayed on your screen. Follow us on all social media platforms, Kwame Showbiz Boutique. Kwame Showbiz Boutique, West African best kept secret in clothing. So welcome back from that quick commercial break. It's still BizTrends TV show. I was asking, why must an SME join a business hub from all that you've said?
Every business has an objective.
Right.
You want to have access to customers. You want to have access to markets. Because the customers could lead you to market, but maybe new markets, access to finance, access to partnership. Right. One of the good things about hubs is that the hub are well positioned to have these things, right? So for instance, because somebody who's an expert, let's say an accounting expert, cannot go to all the small businesses and help them to put together their books. They will go to a place, and it is for a hub to connect to some of these people and say, look, we need you to support our entrepreneurs to put proper records, right? So if you come to a place like this, it helps you. You have access to all these people, right? Now, one of the good things about hub is synergy. Right. Sometimes you have an idea that you may not even have thought about some parts, but as you come and you are co-learning and co-creating with other people, it connects. It brings your attention to some things, and you know, the more if I know somebody else, because that person has maybe some understanding of my business, through that person, I could know another person else, right? So it is the network, the synergy, the learnings, and the fact that this is like a pool where you can get all the resources that you need to support your organization.
To help your business grow. Yeah. What differentiates between myself and another SME who hasn't got the support or the supervision of a hub? What are the likelihood of mistakes that I might do and he or he might not do? I mean, what differentiates us if you say those two people?
If an organization come to my hub and pitch to me, I will sit, and because I want to support the organization, I would punch all the holes that I want, which if you don't come, you don't have access to that, right? So I think that it's just like giving a lot of eyes into your business to help shape it up, right? So the advantage basically is that you get more people to help streamline what you're doing, so that you separate yourself from your business. See, I have a problem with the way we run business in this country, even those who are growing business. The problem is that most people still attach themselves and
to the business.
They're not able to let the business run on principles. Right. So you go through a program at say Tent Maker, and we help you to put together the structures that will make the business stand. And that's for you. It's an advantage to you.
Right. How long does an SME stay under the watch or the supervision of a hub before he or she can be allowed or permitted to operate as now I'm in charge, or I can be able to handle the affairs of the full operation of the business?
Well, there are programs. So really, you are the one who put yourself in the program. So like I mentioned, so there are incubation programs which run, some even run up to a year, depending on how fast you are able to develop yourself. Because you see, point is that you want that bigger market. So if your idea evolve in the next 3 months, you're able to identify your revenue stream, your cost elements, your market, and you get a traction out there, and you get somebody to say, oh, look, I think that this is a good market, let's run it. Why do you have to stay at the hub? So it depends on how fast and how you are able to evolve to get to that market and your objective of doing that. But it's actually program based, and each program has its own timeline.
If I get you clear, there's been this collaborative connection between you, the NEIP Business Development Ministry, and a few other agencies that SME tailored to help in the development. But then I wanted to ask, are there any operational challenges for those of you handling or managing these hubs?
Oh, of course.
And what are they?
It's a business. So you also face similar challenge like a different other companies. How to pay your team, how to use up space, because you see, it's just the task, just like you're managing a team. You also look for markets. Your customers are the entrepreneurs, the NGOs, and all those support organizations. So you need to position yourself well. So I think that we go through similar challenges, just like other, even just like the SMEs. Because don't forget that, like we mentioned, this concept is not long. It's not been long. It's not an old concept. In terms of its emergence in the limelight. And so what it means is that it's still evolving. We're still having challenges, how to even get people to buy into the concept and even invest in the concept. It's still a challenge.
We are all hoping or aspiring to take our brands. I was telling someone that BizTrends was in South Africa last year. And this year we are going to Europe. So everybody's dream is to see my brand grow beyond the borders of Ghana and reach out to other diasporans who are Ghanaians doing business out there. How are you, these hubs, positioning startups who are under your watch to not only establish businesses just for, I'm in Ghana, so my business is for Ghana, but for the global market? How are you impacting this global ideology into the minds of these SMEs?
Well, for instance, our Tent Maker, our model basically is to help business to do two things: scalability and sustainability. So how do you scale is very important to us. This issue about scaling is also just as a part of the growth. It's also a problem. Most business start and say, "Oh, I want to go to another country," and they want to start a whole thing there, right? And it's a big challenge. I think that if you want to launch into a new
market,
you need to understand, and I always say that the easiest thing is to land on something. And that's where collaboration comes in, right? And partnership comes in. It is easy for you to partner an organization. Let's assuming DSTV feels that, look, this is a good platform for us. let us bring it to, let's say, South Africa, or let's say to a different country.
Right.
It is easy for you to launch in there than to say, I'm going to start my entire production in a country there. Right.
It will be a challenge.
Even your access there, your setup costs and all those things will be challenging. But for a hub, because you have all this knowledge, it helps you to then streamline those organizations that are under your watch, under your program. So really, it shows how your business is also doing. Okay. Because if I can't show proof of any business that has gone through my project or my program and are out there, it's difficult for somebody to say you are doing well, right? So it's also in my interest to make sure that they are growing. So I can tell you that a business started from our space, and today they have, when they came, they had, let's say, 100 customers. Now they have 2,000 customers. It's a plus for me. Right. Yeah.
Mr. Asare, we are wrapping up the interview. Your concluding remarks to the general entrepreneurial community here in Ghana, the SMEs who haven't thought of joining a hub yet, all this benefit you have mentioned, and if there is any other more you can add up, your closing remarks, and if they want to reach out to Tentmaker Ghana, how they can reach out to you.
All right. So first of all, I will say that there are a lot of benefits that you get when you attach yourself to a hub. It helps you to get a lot of validation for your business. Secondly, it helps you to attach yourself to an organization that has that traction of the market and the fact that you've done some with other people before, right? And it also helps you to do much more, a lot of collaborations as well. So it's good that if you are starting, and I always say that, like I mentioned, SME development, you talk about SME, they are a little bit out there, they do scaling, right? But if you are an entrepreneur, if you have an idea, you think that you want to develop, please attach yourself to a hub, because it will help you. In fact, currently, funding are going through hubs than directly to entrepreneurs. Because they feel that if you have been incubated, there are some things you will not do. No. Right? There are some pitching you will not do. Okay. But I have one caution. I've noticed a lot of entrepreneurs tend to be they are award seekers, right? So everywhere they hear some award, they jump there. So people are just jumping one half to another. Once they hear some money,
you know, when you don't win an award, they think you are not doing well.
But that's not true.
Okay.
There are organizations. I'm sure. Check the organization that own DSTV. Okay. A lot of people don't know them. Right. Nobody knows them. No. But they have the wealth. You don't need, if you're not out there, it doesn't mean that if you're not on social media and making all the loud noise, it doesn't mean you're not making profits. No. Sometimes people will tell the story about you. Okay. Right. And that would show the value. Right. Sometimes all these guys you see on social media and do it, when you go really deep, they're not really doing much. Okay. Right. And they're winning almost what they want. Right, but quick one. Do the startups pay any dues or any bail for being a member of this hub? It depends on what it is that you are. If you are in a co-working space, you pay. You may
for the space.
Yes, unless you are under a program in the co-working. Okay. So, for instance, if it is funded, right, then you could come in free based on some criteria that you meet. Right. So you need to. If it's a program, it depends on how the program is run. That's why I say that it's always better that you explore, right? And once you explore, you will know all these things. And lastly, the way you said funding comes through the hub than directly. Are you sure you're not doing favoritism and nepotism when the money comes? But my point is that it is in my interest to show record traction. So if I favor somebody, right, and the person is not doing well, what good is it to me? Okay. Right, what good is it to me? Right. Okay, so viewers, there you have it. He said if it shows the record and it's not good, I mean, it will be on your point integrity. That even if you are my father, you run a business that's not sustainable, I won't give you money. Okay. Right. I mean, Tentmaker is known for that. We have a principle, and the same principle is what we use in showing our people. Okay. There's a value that directs the business that no matter who you are, if you don't conform to the value, you can fit in there. Okay. Right? If you don't conform to the value, you can't fit in there. Mr. Henry Agyei Asare, CEO for Tentmaker Ghana. If you don't know today, you know why you should be part of a hub or leverage on those hubs to expand your business that you're doing. My name is Enyonam. I believe you've
you've learned a thing or two. And this is BizTrends Season 6 Forward Thinkers. Many thanks to my sponsors. And Mildred, thank you for this beautiful outfit. Sophia, thank you for my makeup. Kanzo Restaurant provided my crew today with some delicious jollof rice and wache. If you want them, just place a call and he will bring it to your doorstep. 0548 325447. And Berry's Smoothies, he's on Instagram. Just call him for any occasion and he'll be there to deliver. Asare, it's been 3 years.
Yeah.
What do you make of BizTrends though?
Well, I think you guys are moving, and it's good that you went through an incubation, right?
Right.
And so I'm sure you can attest to
I'm
it.
a testimony.
Exactly. So,
thank you.
Exactly.
Cheers to that. Thank you
Cheers.
so much. So viewers, it's a bye for now. We'll meet you again next week with another interesting topic. Of course, Portia, stop looking into my face. Until then, it's a bye for now. Thank you.